Hello and welcome to Out of State DMing. Don't lurk join. Um wait, no. No, I want to see my chat. I just closed chat.
Welcome and
Yeah,
thank you all for
welcome.
joining us for Out of State DMing special 100 episode. Unfortunately, Lux is apparently having a bit of a mental breakdown right now. So I'm your co-host, Bacon.
Yeah, Bacon. Because apparently problems are already kicking off strong. Because why wouldn't they? Uh, just for some reason I decided to exit out of chat, which is a problem. So I'm trying to fix that. No, but today's special episode 100 is the party episode, where members of my community, including two of the people here, which is the lovely Lavender Dusk, which is a longtime friend, and another really good friend that I dubbed the good one. Wow, my brain just tried to turn off. But it's the Munchie. Uh, but needless to say, even with minor technical problems, because it's not out of state DMing without some sort of problem. What is? Because apparently, okay, yeah, I can't seem to not somehow mess up somewhere. Yeah, I got chat back. So yay! Let me actually make chat a little bit bigger because I want to see what everyone has to say. And Lady Kelt is apparently having minor problems.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
night of
it checks
technical
out.
difficulties.
Uh, it's not one thing with it with this podcast. It's another thing entirely. Of course, Uncle Pancake's lurking. Just why wouldn't he be? Because he is fond of that. Creeping on people's podcasts. But needless to say, this is the our group episode, our special episode, the glorious episode 100. Because I will admit, I didn't expect us to get this far, and we are. So hopefully, this is one out of many milestones. Uh, the general topic for today is pretty much just general D&D discussion that hopefully the people involved here ask all the delicious questions so we can have lots of questions asked and answered.
You're going to repeat yourself. Calm down. Take a breath, will you?
No, I am incapable of taking a breath. Uh, but to somewhat kick us off, is there anything that our two lovely guests want to discuss uh, or get answers about. Yes, that's aimed at you, Lavender, and the good one.
I'm also having technical difficulties. My talk button won't stay up on my screen. It keeps disappearing every time I tap the screen. It won't let me hold it. Huh.
I guess, Jacob, what's your most favorite monster you've ever created?
Oh, that I ever created? Uh, oh, that's a hard one to answer. Uh, I don't think I can correctly answer that. Um, this is not really that I myself have actually created. Uh, let's see. There's some of my newest creations, which are crap-based monsters.
Which one is your favorite? What was the most favorite thing you've ever created?
That I ever created. I would actually have to check and see because, like I said, off the top of my head, I would probably have to say the bug, the vermin. Oh, the vermin. The bug, the banshee, because that particular menace to society thoroughly uh, has tormented, harassed, and otherwise um, caused people to lose hearing permanently. Simply because the phrase, "it won't harm you if you ignore it," falls on literal deaf ears. Because the couple of times people have run into it, it's literally okay. You pass a spot check. Some of this foliage here, you realize there's a weird looking bug, so somewhat staring at you, and it's sitting perfectly still. Alarms the rest of the party. The party pulls out weapons and starts getting hostile. What does it do? It does its shriek. Everyone now has to do fortitude saving throws or forever go forever go deaf. Because when you have a shriek that can be heard for several miles away, being within 30 feet of it kind of pops your eardrums. And then it runs off while you're disoriented. Because it's not it's not a monster you're supposed to go out and fight, because it's it's a hunting spider that eats fish, specifically fish. It's creepy looking, kind of nightmare inducing, but it's mainly I camouflage my area, I eat fish, why are you bugging me? So there's been a lot of fun times with that. And I don't get to use it much often because it's a swamp marsh dwelling bug. But I do love it. It's a it is a very entertaining little bug.
What about your favorite puzzle that you have made your players solve?
That I've made them solve. Or that the party has
Yes,
found a
whether
way to
they
make me go, I'm just done. You guys need to get out of here because this is stupid.
whichever way, but whatever one you made, and whether your party members were successful or not.
Uh,
Because you've had quite a few over the years, and some of them have fallen flat and you have given up, and others you were very happy with the outcome.
You know what my favorite puzzle was? it was last night's anti-life show. Go fuck yourself.
I hate you so very much, mother. My absolute favorite trap that made me go, I just need to throw a entire stack of paperwork away, was a labyrinth trap. That was disguised as you go in there, you get a reward, you get out. But it was designed so that way whenever you thought you found the exit, it just put you at another point of the labyrinth. Because the only way to get out is to get the special item, defeat a special monster, and then you get the true exit. So if you don't find the item and or don't defeat the monster, you're just stuck in this labyrinth until you die. I put 3 months into making sure I got that right. It wasn't just, here's a map, here's what I can use to tell where the party is, here's other lost adventurers, here's some monsters, I then spent 4 months trying to cure the party to actually go there and do it, because I even tossed a item the party needed to make things easier in as another hook. With if you actually get out, the copper dragon that makes sure people follow the follow out of the rules when it comes to the labyrinth, he gives you a lot of money too. Turn into, you guys have circumvented this entire place because, and I quote from the person in the party, I didn't want to deal with a copper dragon because they're stupid and annoying. So he just made sure the party forgot about that information and circumvented the entire thing. As I'm like, I I spent time on it. This was supposed to be an entire part of this entire adventure hook. Thank you for ruining my life.
It goes 4 months of my life down the drain.
Yeah, it's like, I was contemplating, is jail worth it at that time? This is like, only for like any time I bring up any sort of maze or labyrinth scenarios at any point in time, people still go, no, that's boring, that sucks, that's annoying. And I'm like, I can't even reuse it because no one ever wants to
You
do it.
you threw a labyrinth at us once before.
Yeah, and what did you do?
I
What
summoned
did
a
you do?
god and I summoned a god and used him to clear it.
Exactly. It's like,
hey,
oh,
hey, you still got to use a labyrinth.
I get to be funny because she finally found the right server. So, wrong channel, right server, wrong channel, Lady Kelt. You finally were able to find us.
No, I couldn't find you guys. Where the hell are you?
We're here. We've been here the whole time.
Okay, then.
We've never
This
left.
is a game changer.
It's a
Careful.
game changer, yay. But I looked down and went, oh, she finally found the server. So, yay, you're with us.
All right, here I am.
Welcome to the nightmare that is my life. No, there is no cookies.
Well, come on, we're the dark side. Are you surprised we lied about the cookies?
No, I'm just
A
disappointed.
little bit. I really wanted the goddamn cookies.
Cookies are good.
The only reason I'm here.
I'm fat. I like cookies.
Well, as the ancient saying goes, that's too damn bad. Now, my favorite trap that I've got to use on people, I say it's my favorite that I actually got to use, but it made several people really, really mad. And one of the victims is currently here in the party. And it's a very simple trap because you raid the vault, which was conspicuously too easy. But their accessory,
that one.
sitting on a pedestal, is a deck of cards. All you have to do is not grab the deck. It's simple. It's easy.
Yeah.
But there's high power magical items in here. So why wouldn't you want the magical deck of cards? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens? It's a deck of many things. The room is now sealed shut. You cannot get out of it, period. Nothing you do lets you out of this room until the deck of many things has been used up and everyone has to draw a card in the room. Everyone. So no matter what number you say, everyone has to draw at least one card.
4 experiences with the deck of many things, 3 of which have resulted in me losing every magical item.
Including that time.
Yeah.
Because, not everyone is intelligent when it comes to certain items. The deck of many things is one of those things that you shouldn't always want. And if it's a trap, I can understand you being mad. I can understand you being frustrated. But I can also understand you wanting to rage quit because other people won't stop because they had one good time because they didn't grab the get the crappy cards, that they're going to go out of their way now to get a hold of a deck of many things. Isn't that right, Bacon?
Yeah. I was I mean, there's only so many times I could say I really don't like that deck. If it's a trap, I understand I have to do it. But when people are willfully being stupid, I'm not as inclined to be happy about it.
Yeah.
Especially again when 3 out of 4 times I was the victim, and as the sorcerer in the group, 9 times out of 10, when you draw the "Hey, all of your magical equipment is now gone," well, shit. There goes everything that made me good. 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
So I'm very much inclined to never touch that deck again willfully.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I love tormenting people with that deck, primarily because those same people fail to see the problems with that deck. But the same people that refuse to see the problems are the same people that go, but why can't I play with a deck of many things?
Yeah, usually takes them learning a lesson before they all of a sudden are like, yeah, I don't like that deck anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
How many times have we seen it where you present the deck of many things and people don't learn their lessons.
Yeah, no, we had an experience with that 2 Fridays ago. The party was very two party members were very abruptly we want a deck, we want a deck. It's also the same two party members who have never drawn bad cards until
last night.
Until last week. And then all of a sudden the deck no longer looked like such a fun, exciting endeavor.
Yeah. Especially one person, then because of certain people not showing up on time and fully knowing the problems that they're going to cause, decides to speed run a very, very week-long done shenanigans of bad things happen. I'm going to make you suffer. So the one person who had very few problems with the punishment of what's happening to him pretty much just walked through everything and fixed part of the problem.
Lux was very not happy. Lux was very not happy last night with with how situations were handled.
Yeah. So this goes without saying, and thankfully there's the 18 plus for this podcast. Fuck you, Bacon.
I made an entire encounter completely useless with one spell, and I never even had to kill anyone.
Yeah, because anti-life shell is a very, very good spell. I'm not gonna say it's not, but fuck you, Bacon. Fuck you.
But it's not my fault that none of them could pass the DC to get through.
Yes, it fully is. Fuck you. I think I'm going to say that a lot today. Because
yes, when I play on Sundays, there's a lot of times I'm looking at the DM, who is my husband, and I'm with the actually I go, I know where you live.
I mean, it's funny because I do know where he lives, and in the future there will be a face-to-face meeting, and if he keeps this shit up, there's going to be a toast that no one's going to like, but I'm going to hopefully make sure someone's recording it. Fuck you, Bacon.
In my games, it's always been, you do realize I know where you sleep, right?
Yep.
Goose.
It was amazing because it was an encounter. He had been putting so much effort into it, and the plan was for me to not even be present for it, but because the rest of the party was late for the session, it was like it was me and the trapped party member sitting there. So
you're okay, stop. No.
You did not just puke on my bed.
No,
oh, you son of a bitch.
You're okay, Goose. You're okay.
I hope you're talking to a dog or a cat.
He's talking.
It's my dog. Get off the bed.
Stay.
Get off the bed, man.
Stay.
So, yeah, dogs are fun that way.
Paul's off. Yeah, especially interrupt us over here. Stop. No, but yeah, traps can be fun. I think one of the funnest dog. Please, you already went out. Stop. Funniest traps, and both Bacon and for the brief time she was able to play in it, Lady Kelp was present for this trap because the whole
Lavender.
Sorry. Yeah, Lavender.
Lavender was there briefly for this trap.
I'm old. My brain doesn't work.
Yeah, you're old and senile. We know. It's fine. That's why you keep. That's why you keep forgetting. You got to design. You got to design encounters with me in mind.
No, I just got to kill your character and force you to start off the new one.
Oh, what was that?
Exactly.
Rage quit.
and then everyone else dies because it's like, they try too hard to run
Lux
into a
is
wall.
over there. Like Kylo Ren, all of your magic on that guy there.
Basically.
No, but this trap was.
And even then, it still hardly works.
Goose, no.
You know, there is a point in D&D where it's either you have to very discriminately target the player, or just accept the fact that they're now running the campaign.
I can still kill you off.
Again, it's either you're very discriminately targeting the player, or they're running the campaign.
Yeah. No, but this trap was funny because they're in ancient ruins, and one party member said, "Don't worry, I can disable this trap," because they knew the stairs were trapped. So the party member just goes up the stairs. So he did temporarily disable the trap by having it trigger and pretty much cut him in half. There's a level 1 character, it's going to have problems surviving a confirmed critical hit from a scythe trap. For those who don't...
I believe we discussed this last week, too.
Yeah, we did. Because for those who don't know, a scythe has a ×4 multiplier. So when the
we were talking about that last week.
And then you throw that ×4, it's a dead character. The funnier part was, is after they got past that, not even a minute later, another party member gets taken down because they just open a chest and get hit with overwhelming cold damage, incapacitating them as well. So that was lots of fun when 2 not so tough traps mess up 2 party members because they weren't thinking, with except of one who was thinking, but he was arrogant enough to think that he'll survive the trap. Thing is, he wasn't a rogue, he was a battle mage. He has no trap disabling abilities at all. And he just decided that activating it was the right choice. And suffered for it. Gotta love not thinking people. But hey, Bacon, what was your favorite monster you've ran into so far?
No, honestly, it's kind of a toss-up. 3.5. My favorite monster has probably got to be assassin bugs, for some very obvious reasons. 5e, my favorite monster to screw with has been goblins.
Lavender has some tales about how hilarious goblins can be.
So many goblins. So many goblins. So many goblins.
Yeah. There's nothing says fun like being constantly killed by goblins because the party can't seem to hit a broadside of a barn.
I wasn't even the one that was constantly killed by goblins. All of the rest of the party was.
That's because the goblins actually had problems hitting you.
Yeah, sure. Not because, they everybody else in the party couldn't hit the broadside of a barn at all, with them standing less than 10 feet away from them. That had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So, Bacon, what are you so fond of giant assassin bugs for?
they have handled they have they have a better player kill count in campaigns that I've been in than most players do. And they really seem to like one player in particular that is no longer with us, but is also not missed because he's a pompous asshole and a bit of a douche canoe.
I have to say, those weren't targeted circumstances. It just happens and that one was rolled. It happens they were rolled. And it happens it was his watch every time.
From an outside perspective, it definitely looked targeted, but rolling giant assassin bugs for 3 of your 5 deaths in the early game was hilarious. For context, Lavender, it is your favorite person to not play with.
Yes, but I actually have a running list of those, but there are a couple that are pretty close to the top. They tie.
Yeah, he got giant assassin bugged on 3 separate occasions in the beginning of that campaign.
I do remember hearing about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Him and giant assassin bugs did not have a healthy well, they had a healthy relationship. He was prey.
Under his standard, sure. Yeah.
By his standard, there's not a whole lot that wasn't considered healthy.
Hey, just because the bar is on the ground doesn't mean there's not a bar.
That's one way to say it. I think the funny part about one of those deaths was when the party was carting his body back to the city to try to have him resurrected. They ran into
and the caterpillars ate him.
The giant carnivorous caterpillars. So the party just left. The theft came back and like, well, we have his finger.
We were lucky that we had his finger, because if it was up to the rest of us, there would have been nothing left. It was only because of Lux that there was anything left to take to the city against our will.
Yeah.
He unfortunately survived in that campaign very long, considering the amount of times he was killed, and we attempted to leave him dead.
Well, it also didn't help.
I will be right back, y'all. I'll be right back.
Part of the payment the party would have gotten had a true resurrection subtracted from it.
Yeah, but the point is that he has died, and he had died on numerous occasions, and we 100% were okay with just leaving him dead.
Yeah, that when I say there was no love lost, there was no love lost. What do you think the most unique creature you've ran into is?
I would have to say one of the most unique things I have ever had the privilege of encountering, not so much fighting, is probably the giant space turtle.
The Gammaroid?
Yes, the Gammaroid. That is probably one of the most unique things I have as a player ever encountered.
For those that are unaware of what this magical beast is, it is a from old school D&D original, specifically Spelljammer. And it's a turtle with a shell diameter of over 2,500 feet.
Okay.
So the term giant turtle is an understatement. And it's literally a massive turtle of massive proportions, because why not? And it's so massive that usually when the remains of one is found, it gets turned into pretty much massive floating cities. because you can literally put
Well,
a
yeah, got a
city
good
in
base for it there.
and because of the magic that goes into it, it's giving the same magical helm as a lot of the other Spelljammer things. So if you have the right helm and the right level of spellcaster, you can be chased by a giant turtle ship that's a literal moving city at a rate of 500 miles an hour. Because magic don't care about size or mass when it comes to those. It cares about, does it work? Yes. Go. It's and it has room to literally have actual hangars that fit other ships because a Gamoroid's mouth is just that big that it can swallow a relatively large. Think of the big a 5-mast stallion. Those are big ships. You can have multiple of those in its mouth with maneuvering room to not run into each other's.
Well, now that put my thought into my head of out at Silver Dollar City for one of their parties, the cave there is so big that they put 5 hot air balloons in it. So it would be something on that scale.
So yeah, it's just enormously big. So yeah, he actually got to not only be inside one of those turtle Gamma vessels on more than one occasion because they did board one to steal a ship, and then he had to get on a derelict one to save the physical body of a party member. Thank you, Goose. That's very, very lovely of you. Your commentary is much appreciated. And he stopped. But he actually got to see a living one.
For about 3 seconds.
Yes, and then way too many magic missiles that seemed like overkill but underkill all at the same time. Excuse me. Excuse me. So Munchie, what would you say would be your favorite currently favorite D&D monster?
I don't know if he technically is considered a monster, but the one that killed me with Touch of Death or Finger of Death.
You mean the invisible thing that it took Bacon intervention to actually kill it?
Yeah.
That was a human vampire.
That was also the child of a very famous magic user.
Yeah, but he was a human vampire archmage. So he whipped out lots and lots of fun to do lots and lots of fun to the detriment of the party because he did kill multiple party members. But he did not cause nearly as much problems as someone else did.
I was gonna say, and then the party said, "Okay, bet I'm gonna double down on that kill count."
Yeah, but that entity was just a powerful sorcerer. They had lots of fun proving that the party was not immortal, nor that their magical gear was safe, because he did hit a quickened, twin-casted Morokindus injunction on the party. Which, for those who don't know, that's I don't care if you have a powerful magical gear. I'm going to strip it of all its magical stuff. I'm going to also take any magic that's on you and just remove it as well. Well, and good luck with that. And he did that 4 times in one round because of 2 meta magic feats.
Okay.
That triggered the I don't care how big the room and how big the cave is. I cast Earthquake.
It was that was the encounter that ended up ruining one of our party members being in the party.
Yeah. Yeah. That did cause problems. There's a when I say there's going to be times where people look at certain spells and effects and go, "Oh, it's perfectly okay when I or a member of the party use it." But how dare the DM have a bad guy use it? That was one of those cases because how dare someone do something that actually works on me? So that did get him super butthurt, but not everyone was so empathetic towards that because of what he did after the fact. So in fact, someone lost their deer companion in the process too.
Yep, someone definitely did do that.
Yeah. One of the reasons for those who aren't familiar with is when druids or a ranger lose their animal companion, they have to pretty much make a saving throw to not lose XP. The higher level you are, the more XP you lose, and you have to go this extended period of time of mourning before you can get a new one.
Okay.
So when it dies, and it happens more often than people want to admit because people think that it's an expendable companion for some stupid reason, that it comes with consequences. Because unlike a cohort or someone you're paying or an NPC you're paying to be in the party, if they die, there's minimum consequences. It's like, okay, if your cohort dies or a follower dies, you take a penalty to your leadership score. Well, if you do the right things, you can counterbalance that as long as it's not constantly happening every time. But with the animal companion, when it's gone, a part of your character is technically taken with it. Because again, that's not just it's not a pet. It's not adorable little roof that's going to help you track down food for the party or kill the mighty beholder. When the beholder uses telekinesis and flings it off the mountain, because yes, that scenario has happened, not necessarily with the wolf, but that has happened because sometimes encounter charts are weird. When it dies, it's a deep wound to your character because you have a bond with it. So when I say don't mess with people's animal companions unless you want consequences, don't do it. Because consequences. You don't know when it's going to show up, but it'll show up. And it will hurt you. Well, mighty Pixie, because she's here and quiet, thank you for joining us.
Sorry, I got off work late, but I got here as fast as I could.
Work is work, like I said many times in the past, and I'll say many times in the future. Real life does trump game life, or in this case, real life kind of has a way of being more important than other things because work, and I'd rather you be employed because that means you get to still be here with us interacting. What is your favorite D&D monster?
Oh, monster.
Well, monster, creature, random entity of randomness.
Probably my it's a Friday's game. My turtle dragon. The thing I can only speak to. I don't know what. I don't remember the name of it.
The turtle dragons.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've interacted with one of those. But turtle dragons are an interesting creature. Turtle dragons aren't to be confused with dragon turtles. Two separate creatures, because one is I'm technically a dragon, but in turtle form, and the other one's I'm a massive turtle that people confuse me with that. So I got the name Turtle Dragon. And she technically has an item that lets her communicate with both, but primarily the Turtle Dragon. I think the funniest moment in their actions was when the party was being chased by a bunch of them, and the several party members had to be thrown up because they were eaten. Because that was a funny get good on die rolls and choose your words wisely.
Oh,
That was fun
fun.
in and much itself. There's nothing that says, hey, let's have fun, like a massive turtle going, you look delicious.
That encounter was terrifying for me because that was before I was waterproof.
Yeah, it was proof water. Yeah, it was back before you were waterproof. They're like, this is gonna suck because we have to do stuff in that flowing water over there, and I'm hydrophobic. Because vampires don't do good in flowing water. Any of you can answer this. What is your least favorite, or currently least favorite monster?
I'm trying to think of what the hell they're called.
Do you have a description? Other than
Naga or Naga, whatever you call them.
Naga?
Naga.
Yeah, we end up having to fight some of those. And they were being brought in from some other place, of course. So they're just kind of coming in.
Well, for those who are unfamiliar, what species of Naga? Because there's a list.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I just remember thinking, oh, not good.
Oh, so big.
It had come from another plane, and I don't know. If I wanted to, I could get Tony in here and.
Yeah, because there's a big list of Nagas. I don't really recommend fighting any of them, because depending on the exact Naga depends on if it's going to be a annoying but doable encounter, or a I hate you so very much. Not to mention the fact that people get confused about what the alignments are on some of the Nagas, because a Naga can be there's chaotic evil, lawful good, chaotic good, neutral evil. And it's because, well, they're Nagas. They don't have to play by our rules of logic. And the species of Naga determines just how much you're not going to be actually enjoying things. Because they're Nagas. They can have stupid abilities, like the ability to turn you to stone, mind control abilities. I believe there's one that can suck your soul out. So that they're all over the place. I wouldn't say they're one of the top tier feared D&D monsters, but they can get real annoying, especially if you're not sure what one you're dealing with. But Bacon, what would be your current least favorite monster, entity, creature?
Now, are we talking like one-on-one or just general dealing with them?
What one strikes any particular nerve?
Iron Golem. That one, that one may have caused a fight or two.
It may have caused a fight or two because iron golems are stupid. Because they are one of the I can say they make the list of one of the top creatures that a lot of people are afraid of, because fuck you. They are very, very big on that. For those playing at home that aren't familiar with an iron golem, on how an iron golem can and will possibly make your magic user rage quit, is how magic doesn't want to cooperate with them. For instance, if a spell if a spell does not bypass spell resistance, the spell does not work on it, making them 100% immune to the spell, regardless of what the spell is, because they do not care. That being said, fire heals them. So that's always fun. Electricity slows them. So if you want to be an expert combatant against an iron golem, don't use fire magic. Use electricity magic, because their weakness electricity means no matter what this electric magic is, it works on it. Even if normally it doesn't bypass spell resistance, it's an electricity spell, therefore it ignores its normal immunities. Any other spell you use, you have to just, does it bypass spell resistance? Yes or no? It plain and simple, yes or no. If the answer is yes, don't use it. If the answer is no, run with it. So iron golems can be a giant butt munch in possibly some of the most annoying, irritating, I don't appreciate what's happening to my character type of way. Because iron golem don't care. So he's not the first or last person to ever encounter one of those creatures and not have a problem. I've seen people get up and leave a table the moment the DM puts an iron golem figurine on the table. I've seen people get verbally abusive because people go, yeah, I think we can take on an iron golem, and then spend 20 minutes getting chewed out because they're apparently stupid and retarded and just not a good person because they think they can take on an iron golem. So feelings have been hurt, egos have been crushed, all because of one very annoying creature. Because iron golem don't care about your feelings.
Well, no.
Does Pixie have a least favorite monster?
Whatever that invisible thing that one shot me twice.
It's very ironic that you and Munchie had the same answer.
Well, same answer to a different question. Because the same creature that decided that you needed to die more than once, it's it's the same vampire that a certain other person went, that invisible thing that finger death me. It was a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine hearing that conversation like at another table? So is that guy just talking about somebody like getting fingered of death? Like fingered to death? Is that what they're talking about?
We've made that joke before.
That joke has been said more than once.
Don't worry, Munchie's gonna get it. She'll find out. I'm gonna use the spell on her.
Oh dear Lord, that does not need to be a podcast comment.
Yeah. Oh, it's a podcast comment today.
It's just not the podcast comment you may want people to hear.
18 plus stream, it's fine. Let me introduce you to my finger of death.
Eh.
Oh dear Lord. Okay, getting back on track. Jacob, I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
When you look back at episode 1 versus episode 100, what feels the most different?
The obvious difference?
I mean, to you.
Well, I know there's a lot of things different. One, I have less technical problems than I did. Just back then, I was riddled with a lot more problems. Like, for instance, internet cutting out. Having to turn one episode into a two-parter because it didn't do stuff properly. The biggest difference, though, would have to be the and this is not an obvious one, the lack of my original co-host.
Your lack of racist comments that come up in your podcast.
Yeah, he did kind of get me in trouble, but I try to not talk about that openly over the internet. But yes, it's one of those your people's decisions. You have consequences. While you agree with those consequences or not is not up to you. Because consequences are consequences. And what says say for a while, my podcast stuff did suffer from consequences. And I hope I'm out of the clear of some of those consequences, because my consequences were I made the wrong choice about a co-host. But yeah, that would probably be the most notable, recognizable, and obvious change was who I have involved in the normal run of the mill for podcasts.
All right, Lux, I got a question for you. Since you asked everybody else, what's your least favorite monster to have to play on the field?
Players. Oh, that I have to play?
No, like that you put the players. What's your least favorite monster in D&D?
I have several, but
Which is the number one?
That I currently use. have
No,
used,
just in
or
general.
just general? Drow.
What's your least favorite monster in general?
Drow.
Drow.
Yeah, fuck Drow. Fuck anyone who thinks they're cool.
Okay.
All right.
I don't care what people they fantasize about Drow. Fuck Drit specifically. That it's like you the Iron Golem is your least favorite D&D monster. If I had a time machine, I would remove Drow from ever being created, because that would solve so many of the problems I have had and or will have with people in general. Because no one should try to be fantasizing about that stupid race at all. They're bad guys for a reason. They don't even make good bad guys. They're just bad guys. Let them be the bad guys. Stop trying to make them the good guys. And stop trying to bring up one god that exists in one Pacific realm that doesn't even exist in 5e anymore. I mean, in 5e, because they realm frickin' Pacific, to try to justify why you get to be a good aligned drow.
Yeah, that's not a thing, really.
The term, let's apply some basic general logic and common sense to what we're doing with this, goes out the window because people want to fantasize about drow. And they don't even get any of it right. How many hair colors do drow have?
I only ever heard of him having white.
One. But if you ask certain people, whatever hair color they want to have, it's like, since when? Since where? Last I saw that sort of thing about dyeing your hair, unless you're trying to pretend to be something else, to infiltrate something else, that's not part of their culture. The term, they don't care about multiple hair colors because they just don't care about that thing, is big in that culture. They don't even highlight their hair. They just, like, long. That's what they do with their hair. Maybe braid it. Maybe have it up. Colors? No. Who's
You
the
just described me.
Yeah. It's like, for instance, what is the dominating force in their entire culture?
Isn't it like that spider goddess or something?
Yes. The most infamous queen of spiders. Loth. If you remove Loth from any point in D&D history, you remove Drow. The Drow aren't some just, oh, they're just the Underdark dwelling elves. No, they exist because of her. I can't remember her real name, her original name, but it wasn't always Loth. When she became Loth and got exiled to the Underdark, yes, exiled. That's how much of a cunt she is. All because her and her husband had a dispute and they had a literal civil war as a divorce. I'm not even kidding. Her followers went with her and they became what they're called now, Drow. They are the antithesis of an evil race. So much so that if you're not evil, you can be technically neutral. But in their society, you cannot be good because they sacrifice you to Loth. You can't worship anyone else because they sacrifice you to Loth. In certain realms, some of her children are with her. And you can worship them. Guess what? They're also evil. But you technically still have to venerate her above them. In one realm, she has one daughter with her. That's technically not even with her. It's just she's trying to save the drow. And if it wasn't for certain authors, she would have died and stayed dead. Because Loth killed her not once, not twice, but 3 stupid times. And people love to use that bald-headed, pale biatch, yes, she's bald and pale, as an excuse to, I get to play a good drow. Even though we're not in that realm, and people still go, drow, ew. It's like, no. And it's also, I don't know why men like drow at all, because the term women rule is an understatement. Because if a man has power, it's because women are letting him pretend to have power. And if he talks out of place or does something that a woman of equal or greater status doesn't like, or if enough women go, we don't like him because he did this, he's probably getting sacrificed to Loth at minimum. It's an extremely one-sided women rule. Men don't really have much say in it, and if they think they can, well, those men they're dead already.
Yep.
So it's the epitome of they're the bad guys. They're supposed to be the bad guys. That's their goal, be the bad guys. But people fantasize them in more than one way. To the point
because of course they do.
Yeah, to the point of they want to argue facts. They want to argue stupidly because they don't have any good points. Because again, they don't even do any research on anything. Well, there's this one good god, Realm Pacific. But it's good. Realm Pacific, and people still don't want to deal with them because a chance that they're lying. No. But Drizzt had a help from a barbarian that went, I guess you're a good guy. And that's one of the main reasons he's able to go do a lot of the crap he can do. Because a couple people gave him a chance, and that's why a lot of people don't, string him up. For instance, Drow and all the other elven races have a kill-on-sight relationship.
Right.
Kill on sight. Like, a drow walks into a city that has elves in it. Those elves are like, someone's dying. It's on sight. So I hate them. And I hate the people who like them.
That just seems like the typical, well, but what if I got a good one?
Yeah. So I will say,
they don't exist.
If people weren't so stupid, I probably wouldn't have as big a problem I do with that race as I do now. So it's people driven that's driven me to hate that race. So I can easily say that without a doubt, that's the race I hate. It's the creature I hate. It's the things I hate because of people.
I heard in our next campaign, I have to play a drow.
I'm going to unfriend you. Like, if I do a campaign where they're drow, it's one of those, unless you're going to play one of 2 Pacific other races, everyone has to be a drow. The women get to be in charge of the entire party, even if they're doing mistakes or other people go, I can do it better. If you openly say that, they legally get to kill your character now. And you guys get to try to do stuff within the Underdark, one of the most hostile environments ever, and you have to play by drow rules, otherwise this isn't gonna work. Because the men literally had to go, I have to play nice, because if I don't play above the board, I'm gonna wake up to a dagger in my heart. Or I'm just not gonna, or I'm gonna wake up to people chanting the sacrifices for you, Loth. Like, assassination happens on a daily basis in Drow society. Mainly people trying to fight for power, because the term no one's your friend, everyone's your enemy, and or a stepping stone to you getting more power. They're not, they're vile creatures. And there's several topics that if you're not comfortable with them happening, then you know. And I'm going to say this right now. As far as I know, no one in this current Discord channel right now is okay with those things happening, because it will make you cry, rage quit, and probably won't talk to me for a very long time. Fuck Drow. Not literally, figuratively speaking, because just throw them
I was
in
going to
lava.
say, I think that whole concept is what's driving this let's fetishize them thing.
Yeah, so it's so like for instance, in my world, if the party decides to delve into any part of the Underdark, you're not gonna find Drow, because I don't want that BS anywhere near any of my stuff. So, anyone else have any questions, concerns, possible comments you may or may not want to discuss, other than me beating a very dead horse?
I think a very important topic for us to bring up is recognizing and handling toxic players.
That's a tough one.
That's a really big one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
But it's I think this is an important one, because I mean I know everybody here has dealt with toxic players or been the toxic player. Hi, I know I'm a problem sometimes. But I think it's an important thing to bring it up and recognize it and handle it accordingly.
I can safely say it's not an easy thing to deal with. Because sometimes it can be blatantly obvious, like, okay, this person's being toxic. No, stop that. Boom. That's disrespectful. That's rude. That's uncalled for. And then there's other times where someone else can go, that's a toxic trait. And you have to stop and think about it, because you're either used to that behavior or you're just not recognizing it.
I'm discussing the blatantly toxic people, i.e., a certain grouping of people that we have gotten rid of from both the games and servers.
Well, there's 3 people who've blatantly done toxic things. I'm not necessarily going to throw down names, because one, I don't want to give them any sort of leeway like that to go, I got to be mentioned, because, well, narcissism. But I'm just going to go over what they were doing that was toxic and the outcome. I'm going to start with the very first person that was removed, and technically this counts as a doofer, because their person they are currently married to decided to just remove himself because he didn't appreciate what happened. Was one of my players I had from the get-go wouldn't stop pretty much, you can call it harassment, me about the dice bot. Because I'm going to say this right now, no dice bot is perfect. They have their problems. But this person straight from the get-go was, this dice bot sucks. We have to go to this other entire site that not everyone at the time had anything to do with in order to run the entire campaign off of, instead of Discord, instead of using the dice bot. And when I say from the get-go, I mean from the very first die roll. Like, for instance, if you got a 14 in a stat, would you say that's a crap stat and the dice bot sucks?
No.
No, it's
That's a
like
pretty healthy stat.
that's a +2 modifier. That's a good stat. If it would have been like, oh hey look, I got nothing but ones, I can see being upset, argumentative probably about that my character sucks because I have multiple stats that are low single digit. No, straight from the get-go. It's like, okay, yay, you got a 14. This sucks. We should go to this. It's like, no. It's like the lowest stat they had was an 11. The highest stat they had was a 16. They had really good stats, and only one of them didn't give them a modifier. Still, they wanted to cause problems. They had problems with, oh, bye, Lady Kelp. Yeah. And she's back. Yay. But had problems. With the dice rolls for skill checks, they were having problems because it was all the dice bot's fault. I'm not sorry, when you're trying to do certain skill checks that are high, like a DC 22, and the dice bot is giving you like 15s and 17s, that's arguably really good. But you're still failing because you only have a +4 to your jump check. But it's the dice bot's fault. Because you're trying to beat a DC 22 with a +4 modifier. And it's a dice fault. So I can say that it hit a nerve, and continue hit a nerve. Because after 5 game sessions of this, I will admit I did blow up, and then immediately removed them from things. Their husband preemptively already did it, because he didn't like the fact I blew up. But that was the nail in the coffin, and Lavender can state that she knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Immediately.
Yeah, because it's like I put up with a lot of shit, of all sorts, but it hit a nerve, and I was done, and they're gone now. There's another incident that happened with another person that, despite knowing what happened because the toxicity levels of the previous person was, they decided to start being toxic. They were getting accusatory, insultive, dismissive of multiple people. 3 out of the 5 people I have here with me today know who I'm talking about because they experienced his levels of douchebaggery, with one having to put up with it a wee bit longer because of in-person games I used to be able to do back when I lived on that coast. And he pushed a button because if you're going to accuse someone of metagaming, make sure you're also not guilty of metagaming. That's
Well,
big.
to add to that, apologies. If you're going to accuse someone of metagaming, know what metagaming means and be able to provide examples of how this person you're accusing of metagaming is metagaming, which they also could not do.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. For the Friday game, when said person hit us with the accusatory metagaming, he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong, but he was also doing it
Yeah.
just as much.
And the metagaming in question does technically count as metagaming. And it's because technically speaking, your characters don't know what AC or hit points are. You don't. That's a player term, not a character term. So he assumes that the party members, which does include him, even though he wasn't counting himself in it, as in character talking about it, doing it, which borderline happened a lot, and that's what he decided to hit people with. And he didn't like the fact that he was hit with a more actual metagaming thing that happened because he, again, didn't actually understand what it meant. And he doubled down on being toxic. Goose, you're being toxic right now. Please stop. Come here. I love that transition, but you can wait a moment. I love you too. Mom is not here. No, but he decided to double down on his toxicity levels and all that wonderful jazz. And it did not end well for him. He was removed from the games and then removed from the server. All because his own actions and what he did. So blatant toxicity can be described in any format. They can format. I know several people have different opinions on what is or isn't toxic. Because, well, some toxicity level can be simply someone giving their opinion. I've had to deal with those people as well. But the easiest way, in my personal opinion, as long as people are like, okay, that is toxic, I understand that, the simplest way to deal with them is to remove them. You can't be toxic during the game if you're no longer allowed at the game. You can't be toxic to other people if you're not allowed to do anything regarding those people. You just remove it. Just like in real life, if you don't want to deal with toxic people, remove them from the situation. If you don't want to deal with it, remove them. And it's not easy to do a lot of the time due to long-lasting friendships, relationships that were hard fought for, hard done. You just gotta sometimes bite the bullet and just walk away. The more recent,
I was gonna say one of our toxic problems was the ending of a 15-year friendship for me.
Yeah. So when I say it's like, it's not always just some random person you don't know. It can be someone you've known and been friend with for well over a decade. You've been through the thick and thin with them. You've helped each other deal with other particular problems because problems be what problems be. So to have to remove them can suck. I'm not going to try to take away from anyone here on that. So the person that we just had to get rid of, pretty much decided that doing something that directly technically, some people may say it'd been nice for not actually running through with it. Technically, dropping multiple tons of earth on fellow party members and technically flat out killing everyone was an okay thing to do because he was upset. Because, well, stop finding random things to chew on. The bad guy cast a spell that hurt my feelings. So yeah, that toxicity was thoroughly gotten rid of. As well, if it hadn't, he would have been he would be here right now talking with us. But he's not because reasons.
Okay, guys, I have to go because I got something going on.
It is.
Fine,
So
you
I
hate
will
us.
see everybody next week.
So you always say, and then you just leave us abruptly.
Yeah, I'm good that way.
We'll just go cry to ourselves. We're used to it.
Don't leave us.
We miss
need you.
And she's gone.
That's fucked up.
She does not love us anymore. No, but yeah, that. Hi, Pancake, with your lurk. Uh, I see that you did the subscribe. Thank you for that, Pancake. That's much appreciated. I just wasn't sure if you were
Thank you,
still
and I
new.
don't go fuck yourself.
What do you mean you go fuck yourself?
You go fuck yourself. He got a thank you, and I didn't. Fuck you. I'm unsubscribing.
Well, I wasn't aware you subscribed, so.
No, okay. Sure. Yeah,
He
you're
did
still.
it at the very start.
Yeah. See.
Then that's
See.
probably why I didn't see it.
Oh, now it's excuses. That's
It's
toxic
not
of you.
excusing. Excuses. You're being
I mean,
toxic.
he had his chat closed when it happened, so
Yeah, and I also had to put up my chat because.
See, I'm hearing a lot of excuses for him, and that's kind of toxic.
Jesus.
I'm going to hurt you. Thank you for making us laugh. And thank you, Bacon, for your wonderful subscription.
It's about damn time. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Do you guys have
But
any favorite? Oh, go ahead.
if you are dealing with toxic players, and the best thing you can do, go to your DM, talk to them. If the DM is being toxic, flip them off and walk out the room. If your DM is defending the toxic player, call him out on it.
Goose, get up. You're okay.
I'm not saying I'm calling you out, Lux, but I'm calling you out.
You took me defending him as me being I want to be on board. Above board on a lot of random shit, so I'm not being accused of random shit.
No, you defended that man. You defended him until the day we got rid of him, and I'm sure Lavender can double down on that one.
I was just about to comment on it because it's like I understand where you were coming from because of situations that we've had in the past where you didn't want to be the bad guy. You didn't want to just take one person's side without feeling vindicated. And I totally understood that. But it should not have taken that long. And that is my only comment on it.
You should not have basically had to be bullied into realizing that he was a toxic twat waffle and needed to go.
It wasn't realizing it. It wasn't realizing it because the thing is that Lux agreed that this player was toxic and harmful. And I had in-person games with this person and had problems where I got into, like, I stood up and shouted down at this man while he was sitting down on the couch about something horrific he said about women. And I don't even identify as a woman most times. And I was almost in his face. So it wasn't that Lux didn't think that he was toxic. It was the fact that he didn't want to be perceived as the bad guy. He didn't want to lose people for not being willing to listen to the other side, which is why I said I get it, because he agreed that he was not a good player, but it was the fact that he didn't want to be perceived as the asshole who wouldn't take it from both sides.
Understandable.
Yeah, because when I say it's not easy, it's not easy. It's easy to be called the bad guy when you try to do the right thing, because there's been times in the past where I have gotten rid of people and lost people because I got rid of people. Even when those same people were some of the people that wanted me to get rid of those other people.
That's where you should sit down with both sides and be like, okay, we need to discuss this. What are we doing?
That's easier said when with only one side actually willing to talk.
Yeah, but it's not about who's willing. It's a hey, we're gonna do this, or you need to.
Yeah, and we abruptly got rid of the person who didn't actually want to talk.
Right, and I mean, he was given numerous chances to show up and discuss with us, and never did. And I say numerous. I mean, it was what, close to 5 or 6 different times where he was told, "Hey, come sit. We're going to talk about this and get this sorted out with everyone." And he would never do it. He was
Yeah,
always
because
too busy.
yeah, there was the I think the one thing that just made everyone not want to talk with him anymore was the showed up an hour late. Well, not hour late, 2 hours late, because meeting started at 6, ended at 7. He showed it up at 8, only because people were still in the chat talking. Lots and lots of happy dancing dinosaurs. Yay, dancing dinosaurs. And I say excuse because I don't think there's a reason, was he had notifications and stuff turned off because he was watching a I can't remember if he said football or wrestling. But
Yeah, but at the same time, when you know weeks in advance, when you were reminded in game, there's a meeting.
especially if you're the one that really desperately wanted the meeting so you can talk with everyone.
Exactly.
And then you just don't show up for a meeting that multiple people, including like some people who technically weren't even supposed to be there because one person was supposed to be at work. Hi, Pixie. And
Hello.
We're talking about when we started getting rid of the first male problem.
I love how you say that.
Ended. Wait, because
Not right
that
now.
wasn't even the first person that was gotten rid of. That's just the first person that the group as a community got rid of together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, the first person was you guys, me saying I'm doing this, and you guys agreeing that I wasn't the bad guy for doing it. He was the first one. Was like, okay, yeah, I need this to be a group thing. I'm
Right,
not being the
but at the
fucking
same
bad
time,
guy.
but like Lavender said, is that it's the first one that, as a community, everybody got together and got rid of.
Yeah, because he became he was fond of burning bridges and not trying to fix them. There's all
I mean,
relationships.
there was what, a solid 2 week period where there was meetings every weekend for like a month, and there was a 2 week period where he would not show up to the meeting, but he'd be in a certain 3 people's DMs talking shit.
Yeah, and then trying to invoke rules because certain words were said in private conversations, and then getting mad that nothing was being done about private communications because he felt wronged in those communications, and therefore the rules should cover it, even though it was a private conversation, not a public conversation.
And then during your sit down, when he tried to lie, but you had all the receipts,
Take it.
and got to go look at him and go, bye.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a big no. Uh, so don't be the toxic person. It can be easy to be the toxic person, though. Just try not to be it. And if people don't want to play games with you, don't want to socialize with you, there's a good chance that you're the problem. Because if you're avoiding 1 or 2 people, oh, thank you for the first gift sub, Pixie. And I hope you enjoy that that there, Nova. Because I got my first gift sub. Yay! For those who may be watching this or see this when I put it up on YouTube, I find that there is a positive announcement. Positive. Um, I now have the affiliate status for Twitch, so it's like I may not be streaming constantly, but that's a big win for me. So that's awesome and amazing. It's good or bad. No. But to try to get in a more positive state of mind and positive state of being, because I don't want us to all take a deep dive on negativity and stay on negativity. Is there any particular other topics that any of you may or may not want to bring up? Well, may or may want to bring up. Anything.
What is your favorite spell?
Mordecai's Injunction.
Go fuck yourself.
What was it?
Mordecai's disjunction.
I love that spell so
The
much.
the fuck you all your magical items and all of your magical abilities.
It's like, I'm going to press Control Alt Delete on you right now. What? Mordecai's Injunction. I love it because it is a very big check your privilege spell. Because it's to whoever it may concern in this location. Does it affects anything magical? So it's your magical items, you have to save first all of them. I hope you have a good save, or magic's gone. If you have any active or ongoing magical effects on you, well, there's saving throws for those too. So if you're because if you go look it up, because I've had to check several times. If you're a druid in wild shape form, Mordecai pulls you immediately out of it. If you have anti-life shell, Mordecai deactivates it. If you have a spell that's active that makes you pretty much God, Mordecai goes, no. It is the epitome of it's like, I don't like what you're doing. Check your privilege. Bam. But it's less of a gun being fired with a bolt specific for you and more like a really big grenade being chucked because it's a fuck everyone. So if you don't cast it far enough away, you can hit yourself with it or go screw yourself over in the process of screwing everyone else over. But that is my favorite spell. Even though there's a lot of really good spells out there, especially if you think outside the box and look at the DM and go, how much physics are you going to permit me to properly utilize in this game? Like using stone shape to affect part of the dungeon to stop the bad guy from escaping. There's a giant middle finger lands from the ceiling, stopping him from using that escape. Or going, I have an effective cast level of 17. I can create 37 gallons of water. I do that 20 feet above the enemy. If you know anything about weight, you can tell me how many pounds are in a gallon of water.
8 pounds?
Yep, it's
Yeah,
8
it's
pounds.
approximately 8 pounds.
So when 34 gallons of water get dropped on you, how many pounds of water gets dumped on you?
A lot.
272 pounds of water slamming down. Even if it's not necessarily directly all concentrated in one point, because you create the glob that boom, so you can have it rain or just drop down. That's a lot of force being slammed down. So you can have fun with it. You can be inventive with it. So there's a lot of spells out there you can have fun with. Like, for instance, another one of my favorites, not all-time favorites, but favorites, is telekinesis. Primarily because the look on a person's face when you tell them that their big, powerful fighter that has a crappy will saving throw failed a saving throw and got flung 900 feet away at a angle. So he went up at least 450 feet before dropping that 900 feet away. Because when you travel 900 feet in 6 seconds, that's equivalent to 90 miles an hour. The D&D logic is for every 10 feet, it's a mile. So 900 feet, remove the decimal, is 90 miles an hour. So in 6 seconds, you're you're equivalently moving that huge freaking speed. So that's car crash levels of damage. So there's a bundle of just hilarious spells. But Mordenkainen has been my favorite because it's the easiest, less complicated way of reminding your players or your DM that there's always a bigger fish. There's always means to get around certain circumstances. And anyone can get humbled by a Mordecai's injunction. Because it's just a giant middle finger. There is one of my favorite. I've only ever actually got to use it once, but I do have a favorite. I can't remember his name. Fire elemental that on his stat block. I didn't put it there. That it on its actual stat block. Every single turn, a Mordecai's injunction goes off that does not affect it, but affects everyone else around him. So even the people who set up monsters of official monsters realize the potency of that spell. But it is a spell that makes people. You heard Bacon's response. It pisses people off. Is there any other questions or topics from my wonderful cast of you guys?
What was the funniest thing for like one thing from each of the campaigns that are currently going? The funniest thing you can think of out of everything you have currently going.
That's happened because I only have 2 current games going on right now. The funniest thing that's happened in the within the realm of the current Friday campaign that I can deem absolutely funny because there's constant jokes around and about this, and certain individual will go, "That's funny," is the he'll get the reference, the hot box, the easy bake oven.
Yes, when you make an entire boss encounter into a meme.
Exactly, because that's I hate you. Because he's taking damage.
You know, I hear that.
Therefore,
I tend to hear that a lot in
get this spell
campaigns.
off. Because yeah.
Okay,
there's
again, for context, this was a lich. This was a lich that I promptly put wall of force around, and then I lit the inside of the wall of force on fire with wall of fire. Now Lux here, in all his infinite wisdom, decided, hey, you know what? This lich doesn't need teleport. That'd be a little broken. So he didn't give the Lich teleport.
Well,
You know what the
could have
Lich couldn't
had it.
do?
I swapped it out for other things.
You know what the Lich never got to do before he died? He never got to escape the Easy Bake Oven. So promptly, the Lich, that was supposed to be a fairly difficult boss for the party, got turned into a meme.
This is not the White Lich that was deceived by previous party, right?
No, the White Lich that got screwed over by other people in a different campaign was the only surviving gnome in the realm, or really anywhere, was a White Lich. For those who don't know, White Liches are mages who went through the process to become a lich, but they didn't do any of the evil crap. They did the certainly longer taking, more expensive route to become a lich, but instead of being infused with negative energy, it's infused with positive energy. Therefore, making it not only unique because it's the good version of a normal lich, but it's not a negatively power driven undead, which is the only undead that actually does that. Well, he was hiding underneath a village, doing everything he can to stop the remains of a dead titan from further negatively affecting the environment around it by doing everything he can to purify the water that the corpse is technically in, so that way it wouldn't cause problems. And he was hidden. No one knew he was there. The party investigating things, figured out he was there, got to talk to him, tried to help him, failed because they just didn't do it. But there was two ways to get in. The way the party initially used, and then if he needed to get out, there was a shorter way that popped him right inside the town that was above him, because it was more like supposed to be an escape route through the town's well. Well, the party was found out using it because they used it to get out, even though he said, let's not do that. Make sure it's nighttime. Make sure you're stealth through. They didn't care. They used it to get in and then back out, not caring that they were seen or anything. And other factions that were still trying to figure out where that guy was and how to defeat him and how to do stuff went, hey, found him, and killed him, ruining the entire town because no longer things were happening to keep the town from mutating from the blood, because Titan blood causes mutations in creatures, which then caused another faction to move in, wipe everything out, and establish a fortress there to contain the problem, because they were made aware of the problem due to the stupidity of several other players, while also not caring at all about that NPC. Now, Lavender cared. Pretty much everyone else wrote it off to fact that Lavender's the current player right now that even remembered that White Lich existed. Just apparently plans of
I was gonna say,
many don't matter.
go ahead and repeat that for me, please. I was distracted.
Plans of the many apparently don't matter to some. But yet, the lovely Lavender remembers that very schizophrenic, not fully there gnome. But to keep on humorous things, this is it's funny, but also annoying. You all know how hard it how hard some DMs work on setting up an elaborate thing for you to go through to get experience and magical items and stuff, right? I'm gonna assume you guys agree with me on that. Well, more recently in my Thursday campaign, uh, they had to defeat the main bad guy that was on top, that centered on top of a tower, and it was a massive tower that they were supposed to pretty much go from the bottom and pretty much fight their way up, get to him, have an epic fight, and win the day and stuff. They didn't. They went straight to the top, fought through one trap that was there to mainly make them waste time, but they got through it. Defeated the main bad guy, which caused the destruction of the tower. They escaped, but because they decided that they wanted to shortcut it, they lost out on so much random crap. It's sad, frustrating, but pretty much hilarious. As I got looking at them and going, you guys lost so much crap. Because they weren't thinking.
I can't remember if I was present or just told about this.
You were that happened literally last Thursday.
Okay.
So you weren't involved, and no one else was informed of this till today. Yay. No. So Lavender, what was from any of your campaigns, what was the most humorous memory you have?
That's a hard question for me because a lot of the campaigns I was present for, I was managing the party. If I had to pick one, it would probably be when I looked at my party members after missing a week because life, and going, why didn't you just look at the map? And then everything got blown up because they were really dumb when I was gone. That's probably the actual funniest thing that's ever happened.
That was funny.
I believe that was our Guyver game in person.
That was an in-person Guyver
And
game.
yes, in person Guyver game. And we had a really badass NPC that was not of this earth and did not know standards of modern living. And I was gone for one campaign, 1 3-hour campaign.
Well, 1 3 hour
Well,
game
not
session.
the campaign. Yeah, 1 3-hour game session of the campaign. And I came back the next week and I got told, hey, so we did all of this stuff. We took her and we went to the library so that we could look at this giant map that they have there. And then we tried to steal the map. And then she jumped out of a window. And then I actually, ran into the bathroom so I wouldn't be seen changing and ran out and flew out the window. And they got done with explaining everything. And I was just staring at them, mouth agape, while we're standing in our base, looking at the supercomputer behind them and going, why did you not just ask the supercomputer with artificial intelligence to pull up a map? And like 20 seconds later, our base got blown up because they were seen escaping the library.
Yeah, their reasoning was, oh, we didn't know we could ask. It's like, you're told if you needed assistance, just ask. And it doesn't help the fact that they went, hey, do you know of the closest library that could possibly have a world map, like a big world map? What did they ask? The AI. So yeah, they went there with this individual who's out of place because they were in a dormant stasis pod for thousands of years. and they took them to the library where they showed them a map, and it didn't. They weren't recognizing places on the map, so they got it something to write on the map without owning the map. By the way, started putting other things on the map from what it knew the map was back when it was walking before stasis. Then they tried to take the map, got yelled at, got told no. Then they had to buy the map. And because the party was being looked for by the bad guys and the US government, because, well, they're not the smartest bunch, they temporarily lost track of the NPC, found the NPC, there was bad guys there, one of the party members ran into the bathroom, activated their Guyver, ran out of the bathroom because they didn't want to get seen changing, even though there's a camera outside the bathroom to cover the bathroom doors, so if people go in and out doing weird stuff, legality and security problems. So a person go in, a Guyver come out, a Guyver go in, a Guyver come out. They got the map rolled up, and they're rushing to get out without fully saying, okay, we gotta covertly get out. The NBC did bust through the window because they're on the second floor, because it doesn't care. As far as it's concerned, everyone can suck it, because again, it just spent several thousand years inside a stasis chamber, and it's not used to modern laws and modern ways of doing things, because back when it roamed, it was worshipped as a god. So it's used to a higher standard of everything. Party gets away, gets back to the base, rolls out the map. They let the NPC doodle more on it, get information, and that's where Lavender's like, why didn't you ask here? Well, we didn't know. Can it do that? As it shows a map, and then, according to its files, shows other periods of time that line up with what's being written on the map there. And then the base was hit by the enemy that was parading around to be the good guys, which did trick the party into believing they were good guys. Mainly because they didn't kill the party, even though they could have. They just kind of took the party and had the party go do stuff on their behalf. Because, well, a good bad guy sometimes doesn't have to be the bad guy to get the party to do what they want. So, yay. It was hilarious. Super hilarious, super funny, because it's like you guys thought this by not thinking at all.
That was a majority of my gaming experience.
With those people.
If I'm being honest, yes. Was, we could have just done this. No, we didn't know. We go do the thing. We didn't know we could do it. Yeah, that was, how many years was that, Jacob? Like 3 years of games?
I was more than 3 years. Yeah, more than 3 years, but saying 3 years is a good estimate of, you guys could have done this. But it's like, you had this information, you could have done this.
I think the other funniest thing that I experienced, which to me was not funny at the time, but now when we talk about it, I do find it kind of funny, was the superhero game and that one particular superpower and the suggested items, if you understand what I'm talking about.
I'm an anti-hero. No, you're a flat-out villain.
Yes, I'm an anti-hero. Yeah, with the quarters. But they're intended.
To this particular game, the party was somewhat quasi-trapped with a new reality that they got superpowers that were pretty random. and they had to go be superheroes. Well, one of the party members had the ability to increase the size and mass of objects. So he would start with quarters, and the quarter will go to be 25 feet in diameter. He pretended to be anti-hero. It's like, okay, yeah, be the rough cruff. I'm willing to do what it takes to win. It's like, you didn't have to toss a quarter on that convenience store. No,
It
I
was the
had to.
children's hospital that got me.
The Yeah, Tom Fuller there. It was the quartering of mind-controlled civilians. The I don't care, I'm winning this fight, even if it means killing innocent people. It's like, that's not an anti-hero. A good anti-hero, you can use, like, let's say, the Punisher. The Punisher, hands down, kills a lot of people. He offs them. But if you look at him, if he injures, not even, like, unalive someone, but injures someone that he didn't mean to do it, you can go watch the Punisher show. They have that happen there. Or slightly spoilers, but it's been out for a hot minute. The new Spider-Man movie. When someone he does not intend on harming gets harmed because of him, it hurts him. It irks him. It's something that mentally screws with him. That's a good anti-hero. Someone who's not just doing what he wants to do because he gets to win. Daredevil technically counts as an anti-hero because he's a hero that's just, it's Deadpool. He does funny things, but again, he doesn't go around mass murdering innocent people or going, oh, it's mind control and I'm going to kill him anyways. No, he'll go through the effort of actually finding the person mind controlling them and take out that person because they're the bad guy, not these innocent people. Not, I'm gonna toss a quarter at them and then getting mad when I say, no, you cannot custom order keychains from Bad Dragon.
Oh, they weren't custom order. It was just a baggie of 25 mini Bad Dragon keychains
Yeah, if those actually
to
exist.
use in game.
Yeah, it's like, no. Loose change is one thing. That's a no. Yeah. Does the almighty Chaos Pixie have a funny moment she can recall?
Oh yeah, I do. Uh-huh. And I think Nick knows exactly which one I'm thinking of. So it involves a cave. And it involves Fireball. So what had happened was I asked Nick to hold on to a box for a minute while I figured out something. I don't remember what I was figuring out, but I asked him to hold on to the box. Then when I asked for the box back, he wouldn't give it back. And then we proceeded to have an hour-long fight over whose box it was. And then he turned a cave into a fire den.
Does you really wanted that box back?
I wanted the box back. So we had an hour-long argument over trying to get a box back.
That did get violent real quick.
Uh-huh.
This that was funny. does the almighty Baconator with extra cheese have a favorite funny moment?
Uh,
Bacon? Bacon? You there, Bacon? Bacon, bacon, pancake, bacon, bacon, pancakes.
Yeah, I actually am here. Vaguely.
Vaguely. Well, you weren't
You missed the
answering,
whole.
so
I'm not gonna lie, I took a nap.
I was telling him about my favorite moment with the cave and the fireball.
No, I cast fireball. I don't care how big the cave is.
But do you have a favorite funny moment?
Oof, I got a few of them. A favorite one.
Yeah, like,
my favorite moment to date will always be in my 5e campaign I was in. Big surprise, I put a sorcerer in that one. I was a changeling sorcerer with the haunted one background. For whatever reason, my party deemed it was necessary for my little level 3 character to infiltrate a brothel. Yes, you heard that right. To get information. Now, that being said, I was to pose as a patron. What are you doing? What do you do in a brothel?
the audience must use
Well,
their imagination.
in this particular 5e case, I had to roll an athletics check. I failed all 3 times.
Oh, God.
It was not a good performance. I actually was kicked out of the brothel for being so bad at sex that they couldn't stand it. And that will forever be the way that Nixie was never allowed back at that brothel.
Yeah, you know it's a bad day when you get kicked out.
When you get kicked out by the whores, yeah. Now, if we're going into the current Friday campaign, it will definitely be dropping a. It would definitely be dropping a tower on a ledge.
I. Mm,
The amount of effort we had to use to get out of that.
Was still funny.
uh. Yes, because someone forgot what happens when you
Someone,
supervene.
not someone, someone's. First off, there was 2 of us. Second of all, I told the party, if anybody's got a better idea, let's go for it. Nobody had a better idea.
No, they
We
didn't.
none of
No,
us
no,
had
not.
anything to be able to do anything to
Well,
it.
so then I don't want to hear any complaining because there was no better idea put forth when given the chance to have a better idea. So therefore, that was the best idea we had. It's not my fault that the rogues were very bad at finding hidden things.
I tried. There was not a lot I could do.
In that case, you actually didn't try.
I'm
No.
Yeah,
sure I used my spot check that time.
no,
Well,
you didn't.
one,
It's that spot
it's
anyway.
not spot. It's a search, and no one did when it was revealed. That's like, yeah, you guys don't see any doors or staircases anywhere that would lead you deeper into this facility or deeper into the tower. Then followed by it's okay. We're just going to take the fact that there's cracks, further superheat the cracks, and then we're going to supercool it by having a crap ton of water dumped on it.
And then marble just rains from the ceiling.
More like the room blew up because marble, if you superheat it and then supercool it, it has a very volatile reaction. So when I went, do you know what happens when you superheat and then supercool marble?
And Nix's reaction was, "Oh shit, I fucked up."
Yeah, that was a very big marble, very expensive tower that was had 1/3 of it collapsed because it was already compromised due to certain stupidities that were done by certain individuals.
I get told I'm hated a lot in that campaign.
Because certain individuals weren't really performing up to their task when it came to dismantling traps. That he was just going to activate all the traps and then deal with the problem afterward.
Listen, when you have 3 rogues and they all are failing to disarm the first trap, it's much easier to just go, okay, I'm going to run through them and detonate all of the traps.
It is easier.
I've gotten a lot better since then. I will admit that.
Yeah, there's a. If your rogue isn't up to par, someone else has to make an attempt to be up to par. If they're actually able to do that.
I.e., insert example of Immortal Sword says, go fuck yourself, I'm better at this than you.
Fun times. So I wouldn't say it's a good thing that that the party's non-chat person had to go through a pretty great length to unfuckle a certain situation that he didn't have to unfuckle. But at the same time, it's one of those. Thank you for thank you for being my friend. I hate you.
I get told that a lot.
You do. You do. You're probably going to hear it several more times in your lifetime.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how that is always funny. Currently, does Munchie have any
Oh, Munchie is
in
Munchie is currently Munchie's currently hooked up to a machine.
Ah. Oh. If you guys are up for it, do Goose. You need to calm down. Well, as you can probably tell by the anxious doggo, yes, I think he needs to go out. And the fact that we are this particular podcast has doubled its normal airtime. Just normally try to shoot for an hour. We are over 2 hours into it. So before we end our obviously party episode with an extended time, is there any particular things any of you wish to discuss before we end today?
I'm good. I just can't wait until I can get back into playing again.
So say we all.
Don't say we.
Oh, we. But yeah, if everyone's comfortable and satisfied with the length of this episode and that we got to bring up a bunch of fun, cool stuff, we will call it the end of this episode because it's gone for over 2 hours today. So I'd like to thank everyone who was able to show up today. Thank you. It will be ever remembered on the internet that you were here. Haha. For all those watching, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Me and Bacon will see you next week on our normal well, my brain doesn't want to work. On our normal discussions and topics. So thank you again. Hope you guys have a lovely weekend. And we'll catch you next week. As I press the wrong button again. Yay. Good night.